Hello, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the Louis Vuitton Pochette and the Louis Vuitton Multi-Pochette. So I have those two bags here with me today, and you're probably wondering why I have both versions of the pochette. One of them is my mom's and then the other one is mine. My mom let me use hers for a period of time, so I feel like I can give a good comparison of the two. So let's dive right in. So first things first with these two bags, I really like that they're versatile and they match with everything since they're like a neutral brown color. And I find myself grabbing my pochette the most out of all my bags in my collection. I feel like these are great staples to have, but the two of them are pretty different, but also very similar. So we'll talk about that here. So for my pochette, I have the single one, and that one is from 2007. And then the multi-pochette, that's my mom's, is from 2022, I believe, maybe 2021. I have my pochette, and this one is actually the older version. So I know Louis a couple years ago released a newer version of the pochette, but the one that I have is from 2007, so it's the older model. But I think it's just as good as the new one. I saw that the new one has a more structured shape, and I think it kind of matches the structure of the multi. So we'll talk about that in a bit. This is the bag. So this one is the single pochette, and then we have the multi one here. And as you can see, it's multi since it comes with the second bag here, and then it also comes with a strap and a little coin purse. The little coin purse here, so it comes with a bit more accessories, so there's that. So to start out, I'm going to remove the additional pieces on this and just compare the biggest bag with the single pochette, just because there's a lot going on. So to start out comparing the two pochettes, you can see that the multi is a bit bigger than the single pochette. If I line them up on this side, you can see the other one is slightly bigger. And then from this side, like I mentioned, this one has a bit more structure than this one. And then the single pochette has this little, the zipper extends a bit further. It has this little marking on here. It says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in Spain. I do have like a little speck on it, so that has that. And the multi one does not have an extended like zipper. It just goes from here to here, but it does have the little engraving thing in the middle, which I personally do not like, but if you flip it, then you don't see it, so it doesn't really matter. So next we'll dive into the inside of each of these bags. So we'll start with the multi. And when you open this one up, it does have a little pocket here. So that is really nice and convenient. You don't really need like a bag shaper for that. And it's not too much going on inside of here, but I do appreciate that there's a pocket for this one. And now diving into the single pochette. So this one does not have a pocket in it. And I know that the newer model of this does have a pocket, so I believe it's more similar to the multi-pochette nowadays, but the older version does not have that pocket. But it's not the worst thing, because I ended up getting a bag shaper, and with that it comes with a couple of pockets and a zipper and all that good stuff. And it actually is really helpful because this kind of loses its shape a bit. So I just put that in there, and it shapes the bag really well, helps it hold its structure. And then I also have a handful of pockets in here where I can put stuff into. So yeah. And the bag shaper I got on Amazon for like $15 to $20. It was pretty cheap, and I really like it to help keep this bag shape. So another thing about the single pochette is that I believe that when you buy this from Louis, it only comes with this single strap here, and it's kind of thin and a little flimsy. I mean, it's been working fine for many years, but it is thinner and it doesn't feel as durable, but it only comes with that. Now we'll dive into more details about the multi-pochette because there's so many things that comes with it. We'll go into the mini little bag that comes with it. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat, so when I was using this bag, I just wanted to use the bigger bag by itself, but I couldn't do that because if you look at it here, the smaller pochette, the little connector thing that allows you to move the strap is actually attached to the bag, and it's not attached to the chain itself. So I couldn't use the bigger bag as a shoulder bag using this chain. So I was kind of disappointed by that. So if I wanted to use a single bag as a shoulder bag, I could only use the mini and not the bigger one, which I was not happy about, but it's fine. I also think it's kind of interesting that both of these bags has a little logo on it. Like, I feel like it's kind of unnecessary that they both have it, but it's there. And then we'll go into the inside of this bag. And actually, similarly to my single pochette, there is no pocket in this one. So nothing there. And we can compare the size of my single one to this one. You can see that a smaller bag for the multi-pochette is definitely smaller than the single pochette. So go back to attaching these two. So to attach them, I do that. And I really don't like that this connector is attached to the bag and not to like this. But I guess it makes sense because people might want to take this off because they might think it's annoying to have it dangling. Here is the bag with the gold chain as the strap. And since I don't use a bag shaper for these bags, when I was wearing them around, I noticed that it droops a bit. So if you can see here that it doesn't like hold its shape perfectly. So this big bag like droops in a little bit like that. So I have to sometimes like, I'll try to push it to be more even, but then that doesn't work. So I'll wear it sometimes like this way, and then it'll droop a bit, and then I'll try to even it out and then flip it the other way so it would droop the other way. So that's what that looks like with the chain. And then here is the strap with a little cute coin purse here. I really like the design of the strap. I think it's like casual and cute. I'm a fan of it. And if we look at the little key pouch by itself, so cute. Oh, I also noticed the monogram on this side is bigger than the one on this side, which is interesting. And then the inside of it doesn't have too much going on. So now here is the bag with the multi-pochette, the chain, the strap, and the key pouch. It's kind of a lot going on here, but it's still really cute. And since there's multiple things going on here, it can hold a lot more obviously than the single pochette, so that is a perk of having this one. So again, here are the two bags side by side. I think that these bags are both really great staples. I personally reach for this one more just because it's simpler and like easier to carry around. I think with this one, like, it is super cute and there's so many different ways that you can wear it, but it's a bit harder to like have to open so many different compartments on this bag, and then also like just putting it on and whatnot is a little more difficult than the single pochette. The pink strap also doesn't match everything that I'm wearing, or like I don't want to add like a hint of pink to it, so that is a bit of a barrier too. This one is a beautiful bag nonetheless, but I think I do reach for this one a bit more. Another thing that I want to note between these two bags is the price difference. So for the multi-pochette, today it goes for $2,570 versus the new version of the pochette is $1,290. So that's basically half the price of this bag. And if you're looking to get an older version of this bag, I've seen it go for around $900 to $1,000 on Rebag, sometimes even cheaper depending on the condition of it. But I think that if you find one in good condition, you should get it that way. This being 2 times the price of this one, I think does make sense because this one's versatile. You can wear it in a ton of different ways and it comes with so many accessories versus this one's just the bag itself. If you're considering buying one of these two, I would say just think about the different ways that you would wear it, and if you're going for something more simple, I'd go with this one. Or if you want something more versatile that you can wear with a bunch of different outfits or in a bunch of different ways, go for this one. I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'm happy to film another video going into these in more depth. But for now, I hope to see you in the next video.